Park Hopkins. Grew up in Atlanta. Lived here my whole life. Knew Trey's wife Marjorie well growing up. My husband Matt Hopkins also grew up in Atlanta, and we had one child, Peter, who we're talking about today. He was our first. And then we have Brennan at home. She is going to be 2 in May.
And it looks like you're bringing, like you got another one there?
No.
What?
But,
what?
No, I've just gained a little weight recently, but thanks.
So the race that's coming up is the 3rd annual Pound the Pavement for Peter. Tell me about Peter and what his disease. I think the disease is called peroxisomal disease. Is that correct?
That's right. Peter was born, had a perfectly healthy pregnancy, perfectly healthy birth. Had no idea that anything was amiss until he came into the world and had difficulty eating and a few other difficulties. So at about 3 months, he was diagnosed with a peroxisomal disorder. And it's a very rare disease. It's something that not many people, not many doctors even know about because it wasn't discovered until the 90s. But essentially, peroxisomes are part of each cell of your body, and his didn't function correctly. That manifested itself in him as he was deaf and he was blind. He was fed through a tube in his tummy. He had seizures. He never walked or talked or sat up. But he was just a wonderful little boy, and it brought so much joy to so many people. In terms of the community, I mean, it's been our church community, it's been our family community, it's been our friends. It's just been amazing. A couple of specific examples. We had one individual from our church that we did not know who approached us and said that he was led to pray for Peter, and he came to our house every week for, I would say, over 6 months. Every week it would sit in Peter's room while Peter napped and just pray for him and pray for his healing and pray just for our family. So pretty powerful. The other thing, and actually leads to this race, so quite pertinent, is that Peter's first surgery was more of a medical procedure, but was at about 3 months of age. And some of our friends got together and prayed during that specific time of the surgery. Didn't tell us about it, but had a prayer group at the church and told us about it later. The surgery went fine. Told us about it later, and that led to a weekly prayer group that myself and 10 girls, 10 of my very close friends, prayed every week for Peter for the greater portion of his life. Then about 2 years later, I would say, I had gotten back from a peroxisomal disorder conference with doctors and learned of some very specific research that was being done for this disease. And those girls got together and said, okay, we're going to do a fundraiser. And so that's the group called Peter's Pals that founded the race, Pound the Pavement for Peter.
So it's a 5K race around Brookhaven, and it says walkers and runners and baby strollers.
That's right.
I know when we did it, it was just a great family time.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Chick-fil-A comes and they bring their cow, and we have some Chick-fil-A biscuits, and we always have balloons and little paste-on tattoos for the kids, and a lot of it's really catered around the young family age group, and a lot of people come and don't run. They just come to hang out and socialize and be there to support.
So the race is Saturday, April the 14th, rain or shine, 7:30 a.m. Registration opens. Race starts at 8:30. It's everybody's meeting at Capital City Club here in Brookhaven, and it looks like the easiest way to do it is register and pay online at poundthepavementforpeter.com.
That's right.
That's a tongue twister,
That's
but
right.
how we
PPP.
very easy to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Children 10 and under are free, and no dogs. And I'm not talking about Georgia Bulldogs. I'm talking about your Labrador or Marmaduke type dog.